This is so, I feel like it's so cliche, but I just want to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to be stable. I want to have no struggles, which I feel like is difficult when you're queer and you're also just like femme and black. You're always having some type of a struggle, some type of something is always popping up. Or it's honestly, that's just life. Life is always lifing. So just to be happy, stable, calm, content.
Mm, definitely my best friend Diamond, and my dog Onyx. I love them. They're probably the two people, well, the people and pet in my life that I love the most.
What do you love about them?
I love Diamond for always being who she is and always just being such a kind, gentle human. I've never met anybody like her, and I don't think I will ever meet anybody like her.
Honestly, I really like just like going out by myself. I go to the movies a lot by myself because that's a place where you're not really talking anyways. I like going to coffee shops. I like going new places, just like getting on the bus and going somewhere. I like to do anything alone. I'm not scared of being alone.
Um, wow, my first crush. I think I was like in fourth or fifth grade. It was this boy. It's funny because like I follow him now. Like he has a daughter, like who's like 6 or 7, and it's just funny to see how life plays out. But it was this boy. His name was Renee, and I had this diary, and I wrote about him in my diary. And I have a sister who's my age. She took my diary to school, showed everybody, and then he knew I had a crush on him. And so then I went from him to his friends, and I just like hopped around. But I was like the most scariest, like little fifth grader. Like I would never approach anybody. I'd just write about them in my diary.
Do you still keep a diary?
I keep a journal, not a
Yeah.
diary, but I mean, honestly, same thing.
My first crush. Wow. I think that my first crush would have to be Evan, who I knew when I was a baby because his sister and my brother were in a first time moms baby group together. And so they would hang out a lot when they were kids, and we would hang out a lot as a result. And Evan and I were kind of inseparable, even though we only knew each other from the time we were like 1 to 2 to 3 ish. But I know that when I moved, he used to wander around his house, like calling my name, looking for me.
Yeah. Always. I'm a Pisces. I'm always in love. Whether it be with my friends or my family or romantically, I always find somebody to love in some way. And just loving everybody in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't need to be romantic, you know. It could just be like, I love this person down the street because they have awesome style, or I love this person that I just seen because they just seem like a very cool person. I feel like people are constantly like, oh, love has to be this deep thing. I don't think that's the case. When you're a decent human being, you can love everybody or anybody that comes across, and you know, even like loving from a distance, you know, people like to say. So always in love.
Yes. Do you want to tell me about it? Well, I would say I've been in love once, and that it's happening right now, and that it's really awesome and beautiful and fun and lovely, and has really changed my whole life.
Oh my god, I've like sworn off love. I am like so anti relationships now, but out of love, I think I just want pureness and the reality of like what it is, and I just want love to be love without so much extra baggage.
I mean, maybe this sounds crazy, but I like out of love I feel like I want friendship. Like I want to be friends with the person that I'm in love with, and like I feel like being in love is kind of getting to have a built-in best friend that you share your life with. And yeah, I guess that's kind of my answer.
I think love is knowing and loving is caring. So I just want somebody to know me to the fullest extent and care for me to the fullest extent and not feel regrets or harm or, feeling less than out of it. And I want it to be mutual. I don't want, imbalance when it comes to love, especially how I love. I love so deeply. And sometimes it could be concerning on how much I love somebody. But yeah, like if I'm putting in all this work and all this effort because I want to love you, I want it in return. I don't want there to be any sadness or fussing at the end of the day of like, I did this for you and you did nothing for me. That doesn't work like that. I can't do that.
I feel like it just like is my life. Like there's no way to separate it from my life or like my personhood or who I am and the things that I do. So I just kind of feel like it's because it's who I am, it's sort of everything.
Just I love women, and not in the sexual way, just like I love the being of just femininity and what it means and how we're constantly just evolving, if that makes sense, and what it means to be feminine, because people have their things. It's like, oh, if you're soft, you're feminine, you're in your feminine energy, or people feel like if you're more, it's just like dependent and demanding. And also that's just kind of difficult to go around because in different communities that can mean different things. So as somebody who is non-binary but has the experience of being a Black woman, that means for me that my femininity is me just being completely independent. That's how it looks for me, because that's just what I've seen all throughout my life, just being independent or always doing what the fuck you need to do because who else is gonna do it?
Well, I actually got kicked out of my house at 19 for being gay. So, and it was something that my parents swear to this day, they say we knew, but they didn't, because if they did, they wouldn't have kicked me out. But it's just taught me to never be afraid to be myself, no matter who disagrees. I'm adopted, so I have an adopted family and a biological family. I've had both sides disagree. I don't care. It's my life, and I love who I love. I've never been comfortable with guys. I've always kind of been forced by my adopted family to kind of like go that route, and forced by like my siblings, like, why don't you have a boyfriend? Why don't you, growing up, like, why don't you have a boyfriend? Like, I didn't date anyone until I was 17, and the first person I dated was a girl. I was never going to date a guy. Like, that would never happen. And I felt like I needed to even be around guys and try to pursue them in order to make my parents happy. And then once I realized it was my happiness at cost, that's when I stopped. And I'm like, no, I like what I like. Either you deal with it or you don't. I don't care. Oh, you know what? I filmed a movie. I was in a movie, and I don't tell people about it because I forget about it. But also, the movie will be on Tubi eventually. And the secret is I was just hired as an extra, and they gave me speaking parts that I was extremely nervous for. So, love to see how that turns out.
It's more of a silly secret, but I stole 3 things from a college house on my brother's campus while at a party because the party was really bad, and I thought they just deserved to have a couple things taken from them.
I am a dominatrix on the side. I do dom work. I beat men for money. I slap them. I tell them that they're the fucking pigs of the earth. When I go out, I lure men so that they can spend money on me for however many months, and they will never get to touch me.